are tuned in to your dose of positivity. Hey everyone, it's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and on this channel, I share inspiration, positivity, and life lessons. And like I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's show. Today we're talking about speaking up, and that is so important for us to speak up because when we speak up for ourselves, we are not afraid to ask for what we want and also to decline what you don't. That speaking up, it shows that we respect ourselves. It shows that we have enough courage for ourselves. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in our light. And also it's having compassion for ourselves. When we speak up for the things that we want, things that we don't want, we are showing compassion because we are saying, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. See, whether we know it or not, we train people how to treat us. And when we allow ourselves to be a doormat, we let ourselves be overtaken. Hey, April Showers, welcome. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hey, Eastad, welcome. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, we have to learn to speak up more and ask for the things that we want because we respect ourselves, and that is so important. And I just want to say, speaking up for yourself is something that you say to your opinions, and you have to just express it and speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up. A lot of times when somebody speaks up for themselves, people will think, oh, they're arrogant or they're trying to be controlling. You have to speak up or you're going to get taken advantage of. Unfortunately, a person who does not speak up for themselves gets taken advantage of and ultimately abused. And we don't want that. We want to show that we respect ourselves. When you believe in your power and your light, you have to protect your peace at all costs. And that means saying no. Saying no is something that every single person needs to learn to do. And it may be easy for some, but it may be very difficult for other people to say no. And it's no because you don't like it and you don't have to explain that. I say it all the time. People always want to know why it's no. That's all you need to know. It's no, and I don't have to explain anything because I'm a whole grown woman or you're a whole grown man. So these are some of the tips that I want to give you for how you can start to speak up for yourself, okay? The first one is to ask yourself, when am I most likely to need to speak up? Is there a conversation that I'm avoiding? When you ask yourself this question, why do I need to speak up? It's because a lot of times maybe you don't want to say it. Maybe you're a person who's timid. You have a problem saying things because you don't want to make yourself seem like you're being demanding. But if you don't speak up and tell people what you like and you don't, you will always be somebody is going to speak up for you. And that's not what you want. And the second way is to learn the feeling. You got to get familiar with that feeling inside of yourself when something comes up to the surface or somebody says something and you really don't like it. You have to get to know your own feelings and what you're comfortable with and what you're uncomfortable with. And it may be something difficult to say, especially if you feel like somebody's lying to you or somebody's trying to take advantage of you or whatever it is. You have to learn to speak up for yourself. And that's how you show your worthiness because each of us has worth. And we have to be willing to say what I don't like and what I do. And also, you got to know your rights. Just being a human being, you have the right to say things. You have the right to like things. You have the right to not like things. Nobody should be telling you what you should like and what you shouldn't, what you should do and what you shouldn't. And I find that I get into that sometimes, especially on the job. On the job, they push a little bit too hard, but you also have to learn to push back too. Let people respect you by putting up boundaries. That's a part of speaking up for yourself, giving people boundaries. And we have to do that. We have to give boundaries, or if you don't, those lines will be blurred and people will just have a free for all. So put your boundaries out there. Hey, Eunice, welcome. Happy Thursday. Good to see you. All is well here. Thank you so much for asking. And we really have to learn to speak up for ourselves. And it's something that it may be easy for some, but harder for others. So here are 8 ways that we can speak up for ourselves. Okay. Number one, understand that saying no can be a good thing. Saying no can be a good thing. We may not get that at the time, but if it's something that it doesn't make you feel good or it's something that you don't like, I find it's to be the worst thing that somebody comes along to an event or an occasion and you know that they don't want to be there. Their body language is saying they don't want to be there, but they went anyways because somebody forced them to be there or they feel that they have to be there. So when you speak up for yourself and you say no to something, it's a good thing because it shows that you respect yourself and also that you're not wasting your time doing things that is not in line with your values and things in line with what you're trying to do with your life. So speak up for yourself. Number two, you speak with your body posture or your body language. It shows that you respect yourself. So a lot of times you may be even showing by your body language something that makes you feel uncomfortable, something that you don't like. So don't be afraid to speak up. Your body language will be telling you, but also you have to verbalize and say what you like and what you don't. Another way that you can speak up for yourself is stay true to your words. When you say yes, let it be yes. And when you say no, let it be no. Don't go back and forth. Stay true to you. Stay true to what you want and to what you like. Don't be wishy washy and go back and forth. Make sure when you say something that is something that you're going to stand firm in it with no going back, no backtracking, like they say, 10 toes down. Make sure that you stay true to what you say. It shows that you believe in it, you have courage, you have faith, you're strong in your belief system. And people are going to respect you, even if they don't like what you said. When you stand firm in what you're saying, you believe what you're saying, and you're not going to go back and forth, people will respect you because they know that they can't play any games with you. Another way to speak up for yourself is to practice it. If this situation happens, what will I do? You should do some mock, play by plays. If this situation happens to me, if this person does that, So when the situation arises, you know, okay, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of times we are not prepared for how we're going to respond to things, and you'll just come out, you blurt out your mouth, okay, I'll do it. And then you'll be saying, why did I say that? And I really don't want to. So it's nothing wrong with this thing right here. Take your time with your response. When you speak up for yourself, you don't have to give a response right away. Tell people, I need to think on this. I need a little time. That's how you show that you trust in yourself, that you care about yourself, that you have compassion for yourself. Don't let anybody rush you and force you into doing something. Oh, I need the response right now. No, don't let people force you. Stand up and speak up for yourself and say, I need some time and you need to give me that time. And that's how we show that we respect ourselves. It's all about that. It's all about respecting ourselves, respecting who you are, respecting your triggers, because certain things may trigger you and other people may not understand that. Don't let other people put you in a situation that you don't like just because you failed to say, I don't want to do that, or I don't like it, or I don't want to be around this person or that person. Speaking up for yourself is showing that you respect yourself. And I speak about this all the time. Self respect will go far. At the end of the day, you need to be happy with the decisions that you make. And it means saying what you like and saying what you don't. Another part of speaking up for yourself is knowing when to leave. There's some situations that happen, like conversations, people may be gossiping or backstabbing other people. You don't have to stay around that environment. You can back away. You got to know when to leave. And that implies, and that is involved in business as well. You have to know when, like, this isn't working for me, or I don't like it, or I don't like the direction. You got to have that discernment. When is it time for me to leave? Because I respect myself, because I don't want to be a part of this. All of that is showing you know what you like and you know what you don't. And don't let anybody change you into thinking something else. When you know that you're ready to leave, when you know that you don't like something, stay true to that. Stand firm. Be bold enough, be courageous enough to say, this is not for me. And a lot of people are not true. They're just following the crowd, trying to people please, make their family happy, make their job happy. But when are you going to make yourself happy? A lot of people don't know how to make themselves happy. And you need to. You need to make yourself happy. That's so important, to make you happy. And you have to be true to who you are. Don't let anybody change you. Don't let anybody change you into something that you're not. Love yourself enough to say, I like this or I don't like it, and stand in that. Stand in that. Speak up for yourself. And sometimes speaking up for yourself, you also are speaking up for a group. Because when you're firm in your belief system, you're able to show family, friends, a job. You have to speak up because nobody can know what you're thinking. And this happens a lot in relationships. A lot of people think because they're with somebody in a relationship that, oh, we've been together for this period of time, they should know. And people aren't mind readers. Nobody can know what you're thinking until you tell them. So speak up and work on your delivery. I will say that too. When you're speaking up, think about what you're going to say. Yes, sometimes you may have to be aggressive and go after somebody, but never lose self respect for yourself. Never make yourself look like you don't have any vocabulary, like you don't know how to speak. Put people in their place. Yes, I'm saying that. Speak up for yourself. put people in their place, because a lot of people out here are disrespectful. Don't let people disrespect you. But also, you got to know how to communicate properly. And that's why it's important also to ask questions. When you say something to somebody, ask them, did you understand what I said? And can you relay that back? Like, what did you get out of what I said? You got to learn how to communicate properly. Just because you may say something to somebody doesn't mean that they comprehended it or understood it the way that you need them to understand. So take the time to clarify. Hey, Odom's Homestead. I think I was just made to make everyone happy. Yeah, Odom, that's a good thing, but that also can be a bad thing, because when you are working to make other people happy, if you don't speak up and ask for things that you want as well, you can feel down and disheartened. And sometimes you can even go into depression, because we see it all the time. People who are entertainers or people in the arena of comedy, and they're always making other people laugh and smile, but nobody is doing that for them. So also think about yourself as well. Yes, I do not like negativity where people they're gossiping about others. If they gossip about others, they will gossip about you. That is definitely true. People who gossip, people who stab people in the back, if you hear somebody saying nasty things about somebody else, it's just a matter of time before it happens to you. And that's why I always say, be careful about what you tell other people. People cannot spread things about you unless you tell them. So be careful what you say. Not everybody is a true friend. Not everybody is your friend. Also, you have to make sure you're communicating effectively. Make sure that you're letting the other person speak as well. Yes, a conversation is one, good communication is one that goes back and forth. Because I've seen where people who are, I like to call them dictators, everything goes my way. And if you try to get a word in edgewise, mm, I'm talking now. Don't say anything. They want to control everything. So be careful with those type of people that they can be toxic. They can be toxic, especially on the jobs, or people who are what do you call them? Micromanagers. A lot of people, they like to micromanage how you react to them. They want to control and tell you everything what to do, and if you go against what they say, now they're mad. Now they want to start a fight or an argument with you. So you have to be careful of that. Yes. Yeah, I'm just letting you be aware that you while you give, you also have to receive. That's a part of the human experience. Hey, the Michael Carter Show. How are you? Welcome. Happy Thursday. While you give to other people, you have to learn to give to yourself. And that's speaking up for yourself. That's respecting yourself. That's knowing your worth. Speaking up sometimes is very difficult, but it's very necessary. And it helps you from you're a child all the way up to your adulthood. It shows that you respect yourself. You're not going to allow people to treat you any kind of way. You know what you want. You know where to direct your blows. You know what to deal with. You know what to ask for. But just like Eunice had said, communication goes both ways. So while you're speaking up and saying the things that you want, you also have to listen to other people and find out if they're getting what you're saying, if they're understanding, but also let people have their own opinion. I hear people a lot of times say they don't like certain people just because their opinion is different from theirs. And we have to learn that it's okay for other people to have a different opinion. It doesn't mean that uh, they don't like you or something. It's just where they are in their life. It's their position. It's their reasoning. It's their thinking. We have to allow other people to be themselves. Just like we want to be accepted for who we are, we also have to allow other people to be themselves as well. And I speak up for the people who are shy, who are reserved, who don't know what to say or how to say, or they're used to being a person who's a giver. I'm speaking to you and telling you that yes, what you're doing is wonderful. It's wonderful to be kind and to give back and to make people happy, but also in the process, don't lose yourself. Hey, Boss Life Online. Happy Thursday. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We all have to work on ourselves. Each of us. Each of us have to work on ourselves. And everybody is in a different position in their life. Some people, it comes easy to you. Some people, it's easy for them to say what they like and what they don't. And other people, they struggle with it constantly every day. But everybody, I think everybody is a work in progress. You have to learn to speak up. You have to learn to say no. You have to learn to say yes. You have to communicate effectively. And that means telling people something. But also, what I had to learn is you have to also ask questions. Okay, did everybody understand what I said? Can you repeat back what I said? And when sometimes when people repeat back what you said, they may have taken it a completely different way. So, effective communication is important, and also having good listening skills. When you speak, you also have to listen and then take the time and break things down. And I understand that can be frustrating sometimes to have to continuously repeat yourself and ask questions. But when you do that, people are going to keep coming back to you. People will understand your heart. People will like you for who you are, because to get respect, you have to respect other people too. It's a two-way street. It definitely is a two-way street. And that's why I always say it's important for us to know ourselves, know what we want, know what we like. And I understand some people are still trying to find out what they want to do with their life and what they're trying to do and what they like and all of those things. But also, don't let people abuse you, abuse your time, make you feel that you always have to do everything for them. That's why it's so important to have boundaries when it comes to other people. Know the things that you will do and know the things that you won't. And as soon as you see it, you immediately know how to say, no, no, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't talk to me this way, because I don't allow it. I don't speak to you that way, so don't do it to me. When you put boundaries out there with people, they know that you're not the one. You got to let people know you're not the one, because if you don't, they're going to keep doing it. I just saw a comment. Marlene, sometimes people will flip the boundaries and they're toxic so they don't have to deal with the issue. My sister did it. Now all of a sudden it's, sis, I love you, I'm sorry. Yeah. And also a part of that is some people have some mental illness. Sometimes it's toxicity, which toxicity can be fixed. But when a person has a mental illness, that's a little bit different. That some people, they have to have medication, they need therapy and things like that. But I'm talking about a person who's a narcissist, a gaslighter, a manipulator. That's a little bit different. So you can't change how people act towards you, but you can always change your reaction. Just because somebody is saying, I like April said, I love you. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean you have to accept it because people like to play games, and you got to be fully aware that all of us that know our worth, you got to know that people are going to play games. People are going to lie to you. People are going to try to manipulate you. But you got to speak up and you got to identify and say, I see you. I know you're lying to me. And don't play games with me. And then they're, oh, well, why are you saying that? Or they'll want to make you feel that what you just said is not true. They're trying to convince you of a lie. Classic narcissist, manipulator, gaslighter, all of them do it. So be aware of that too. When you know somebody is lying to you, when you know somebody is playing games with you, you don't have to take it and allow it. You don't. I try to make sure that I am being patient with others when they're expressing themselves to me, and I expect for them to be patient with me. It's about love, respect, and progression. Exactly, Eunice. If you don't feel like you're getting back what you're putting out, you don't have to hang around. And I say it all the time, especially when it comes to family, because family can be the most toxic to you, the most toxic. So don't let it fall. Oh, sis or brother or cousin, auntie, mom, dad, whoever they are in your life. Just because they're related to you by blood, it doesn't mean you have to accept their foolishness, their lie, their drama. You don't. You can be patient with other people, but not at the expense of being lied to or games being played. One thing you don't have to deal with is mind games. You don't. Respect yourself enough to speak up. Hey, the word, welcome. Happy Thursday. Good to see you. One thing you don't have to do, you don't have to put up with people's foolishness. You don't. You don't have to put up with people's foolishness. You don't have to put up with people's lies. And people don't like when you catch them in their lie. They oh no, that's not what I said, because they have are telling you so many lies that they can't even keep up with them. But you got to speak up and say, I'm fully aware of what you're doing right now. Call them out. I'm fully aware of what you're saying, and I'm not falling for it. Maybe you can hide behind that mask with other people, but I see right through you. That's a person who respects themselves. That is a person who respects themselves when you know how to speak up and say, I am not going to accept your lie. I am not going to accept your foolishness. We, we, we accept things for longer than we should, things that make us feel uncomfortable, things that make us mad. We stay in that for far longer than we should. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the way they treat me, but you keep taking it. Or you don't want to do something and you keep doing it. But are you speaking up for yourself? And also, what mirrors speaking up for yourself is not only speaking up, but keep maintaining that same perspective. Don't recant and go back because your message may be uncomfortable, because somebody may not like what you said, and you may say, was I being mean? Say, hey, the truth hurts sometimes. And yeah, sometimes you may not say it, your delivery may be messed up, but one thing, when your message is bold, when you're calling out people, when you're speaking up for yourself, people don't like it. And then they want to, oh, you're rude or you're mean. That's always the combat. You're rude or you're mean. Who cares how somebody else takes it? That's not your problem how somebody takes the message. The most important thing is that you're showing that you respect yourself. I want to empower all of you motivators. I want to empower you all and tell you, speak up and say what you like. Speak up and say what you don't. Communicate effectively. Ask questions. Don't be a doormat for other people, because People will keep running over you and using you as long as you allow. And we allow people for far too long. Hey, Leticia, how are you? Happy Thursday. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We are going to get taken advantage of as long as we allow. I know somebody needs to hear that. We will be taken advantage of as long as we allow. So that means if you keep allowing it, and it doesn't matter how much you complain. Oh, I don't like when they keep asking me for money. I don't like when they keep wanting me to do this, but you keep doing it. That's the thing. You keep doing it. You have to follow through with your words. Your words and your actions have to align. Your words and your actions have to be united. They have to mesh well and blend together. You can't say one thing and do another because people aren't going to listen to you. People are going to lose respect for you. And people know who to play. People know who to play. They know the, oh yes, I can be a puppet. They can be my little puppet. That used to be what they used to say to me. I always had a problem saying no. I don't know why. I always had a problem, like, because I want to make other people happy, because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Like, I'll do something and I know I really don't want to do it, and I will be there folding my hands, rolling my eyes, checking my watch, like, when am I gonna leave? Hey, D Goddess of Love, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for being a new subscriber. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's my saying. Stop making excuses for your life. If you want to change, show it by your actions. Yes, Eunice, victim to volunteer mentality. You're going to be a victim as you allow it, as long as you want to be a victim. That's one thing that I had to learn for myself. Until you stop feeling sorry for yourself, that's what you're going to get. A lot of people out there, they want people to feel sorry for themselves. They're looking for pity from other people. Oh, my life is awful and this is happening to me, but they're not willing to do anything to change that. At a certain period of time, you can ask people to help you, but also you got to do something. You got to follow through. You got to show that you really want to make changes. You have to do something about it. Do something, not just say something. So while, yes, I am saying speak up for the things that you're passionate about. Speak up for the things that you like and you don't like. Respect yourself. Be honest. Be courageous enough to have different opinions from other people. If you don't like something, you don't have to be in the crowd saying you like it just because you want to be a part of the herd. You know, there's a lot of people who are sheep, and you can't change that. If that's what other people want to do, let them be them. Let them do them and be them. But also, it's okay for you to have different thoughts and opinions from other people. And a lot of people don't like that. People don't like when you will call them out, say you don't like something. It's okay. That's a person who has a strong mind, strong mentality, high vibration, high energy. Don't be afraid to have a different opinion and thought. See, it takes a person who is a truth seeker, a person who is a trailblazer, and sometimes you got to be a trailblazer and make a new path. If you don't see anybody doing or thinking something that you're thinking about, be the first. Don't be afraid to be the first to say, no, I don't like that. Don't do that. Hey, you're lying. Call them out. Don't you got it has to be somebody who's courageous and bold enough to say, no, you're not doing right. I don't like what you're doing. Don't treat people this way or whatever it is. Or I don't like this. and I don't like it because of this, or I don't want to deal with you because you lie, or you always say you're going to do something and you won't. Don't be afraid to speak up. I'm not going to help you anymore because you're always asking for the same thing. Don't be afraid to be true to yourself. That's how we get burnt out, being a people pleaser. And I don't want you all to think, I don't mean don't be kind. Yes, be kind to people, be loving to people, but also don't be taken advantage of. Don't be taken advantage of. Don't be a doormat to other people. You have to set boundaries and you have to stand firm in that. This is what I'm going to accept. And if you don't like it, there's the door. There's the door. There's the door. Too bad if you're mad. Too bad if you're sad. Too bad if you don't know how you're going to make a way. I always say there's certain times where you got to disconnect from people because you're not going to be able to save yourself following behind and helping other people. You'll go all the way to zero, and then somebody will say, "Oh, they should have slowed down." Don't wait for yourself to be taken out because of, you know, illness, whatever, disease, things happening to you because of stress, because of people pleasing, because of trying to follow behind people, because you didn't set boundaries, because you didn't say no when you needed to say no. And now you have to backtrack and try to fix it. Don't backtrack. I mean, stand 10 toes down in your belief. And if they don't like it, it's too bad. It's too bad. It's time we stop, you know, handling people with kid gloves. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, walking around on eggshells around certain people because they claim, they're sensitive. A lot of people who say they're sensitive, they just don't want for someone to tell them the truth. They're lazy. Maybe they're a liar. They're a manipulator. They don't want to do something or whatever it is. People don't like it when you call them out, but that's not your problem. See, we're motivated. We're motivated to success. That's what I want to say to everybody. We're motivated to success. You're motivated to be your best version of you. And sometimes that means that you have to get stronger, bolder, courageous, aggressive, narrow down on them. Sometimes you got to get in people's face and, like, don't play games with me. Don't do it. I'm not the one. Don't do it. Don't do it. And a lot of people will think, especially a person who is quiet, soft spoken, doesn't say much. Like, I'm definitely that person. I'm a soft spoken, quiet person. I don't bother anybody, but also, I'm also not the one. I don't bother people, but I'm telling you, if you get inside this tornado, when I stir up the dust and you're inside of it, I really feel sorry for you because it's over. Don't let people play you. Do not. Has hit the road with water. Yes, after the damage is done, they will try to counsel you and say, you should have slowed down. You should have spoken up. I love myself too much to get ran into the ground and to get taken advantage of. Yes, I wanted to have this discussion about speaking up because I know it's a lot of people right now who are being taken advantage of, but it's because you're allowing it. And just because you've allowed things for a long time, it doesn't mean that right now you can't cut off some toxic things, toxic people, being around people who are gossipers. You don't have to hang around them. You don't have to listen to their foolishness. You don't have to keep bailing out people. You don't have to let people talk to you in a rude way. Check them and say, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't talk to me like that. See, respect goes both ways. To be respected, you have to give respect to other people. A lot of people think automatically because maybe if they're an older person or they have certain credentials that you must respect me. No, you don't. Respect is earned. It's earned. And if you're a rude person, a liar, a manipulator, a drama person, whatever it is, when you see it, back away, run. Actually, don't deal with them because they're just going to have you in that circle. You're going to be on that same treadmill of your life, the same actions over and over and over again, just like a scratch record. Don't let people play you. People are very good at what they do. Those narcissists, those gaslighters, they're very good at what they do. Those manipulators, those drama people, they're very good at what they do. Very good. I'm the same way. I'm quiet but friendly. But if you disrespect me and it goes too far, I will speak up for myself. I can be a firecracker. You better say that, Eunice. You better say that. People will think because you may be a reserved person or a quiet person that you don't have that lava. You don't have that firecracker inside of you. See, I don't like to ignite it. That's why I tell people a lot of times, like, please leave me alone. I definitely know how to defend myself and I don't want to hurt people. I was like, please don't let me hurt you. You don't want it. They don't want it. Hey, Shay, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Right now, no matter what happened in the past, be in the now. Make the necessary changes now. Yes, it's all about the here and now. It's not about what you've been doing. At any moment, you can decide you want to make changes. At any moment, you can say, right now, I choose to respect myself. Right now, I choose to live. Right now, I choose to show courage, that I'm not going to be fearful. I don't care about the repercussions of what I'm about to say. You got to stare people at the face and call them out and say, I see you. I know you're lying to me. I know you're drama filled. I know you did this, or I know you did that. Or I don't have to say yes to something that I don't like, especially on the job. Don't let people run you into the ground just for $1. Whoop, I know somebody needs to hear that. Don't let them run you into the ground. All they'll do is get another victim. That's all they'll do. Learn to say no. Go home and spend some time with your family and your loved ones. Don't let them play you. You're helping them with their business. You need to go home and work on your own. Real talk. Work on your own self. Work on your own self. Speak up for yourself. Don't let people take advantage of you. You may be a mild person, a mild tempered, calm person, chill, relaxed, but those are the people that they love to sink their claws into, have a hold of. They love those people. Like, yeah, I can puppet them. I can puppet you because I know you're not going to say nothing. They know what they're doing. And that's why you got to recognize it and say, mm-mm. Somebody may ask you to do something once, maybe twice, but don't let them the same thing over. Oh, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you do this? And I got to say this also. Just because you're helping somebody once doesn't mean you have to say help them twice. I'll say it again. Just because you help somebody once doesn't mean you have to help them twice. You don't have to constantly bail out people who make poor decisions or are in a hard situation. You can do something once and you got to tell them, hey, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this for you once. And stand firm in that. 10 toes down. 10 toes down on that one. Just because you do something once, it doesn't mean you have to do so continuously. Love yourself enough to speak up and say what you like and what you don't. Yeah, they do. These employers, they'll do everything to try to break you. They'll and you never do enough, you know, on the job and also in life. There's some people that you can never do enough. You can never satisfy them. It's always when you do one, oh, can you also do this? Before you even finish doing, they're ready for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You got to identify that and say, no, all I was going to do is help you with one thing. Have a nice day. You're done. And we're done. And then move on to the next victim because I'm not the one. Okay? Speak up for yourself and don't be afraid, ashamed, recant, feel guilty. And I got to speak to those who feel guilty about saying no. Don't do that. Don't feel guilty because they don't. Listen, people like to play games. People know because you have a kind heart. Oh, I know they're gonna do it because they have a problem saying no. You got to get to the bottom of it. Why do you have a problem saying no? Why? Why do you have a problem saying no? Figure out that. And why do you feel guilty because you say no? When you say no, you should feel good. You should feel encouraged. It should be like a shot in your arm. I know when I say no, I feel good. Actually, I put my chest out. Say it with your chest. I was like, no. And that's a no. No, I can't do that. And you should feel good when you say no because you just showed, hey, I respect myself. Hey, I love myself. Hey, I no, because I'm tired. You don't have to tell them you're tired, but you know that's the reason. No, I'm tired. Or no, not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. And we got to learn to say maybe instead of yes to things so quickly. And just like I was talking about earlier, take your time before responding to something, before agreeing to do something, because we want to make our yes be yes. So if you're not sure about something, tell people maybe. I'm not sure. Let me sleep on it. Give me some time. Yes, if you keep on doing things for people, especially for those who do not appreciate you, will create a monster and you will be responsible for it. Yes, it's like you're making people enablers. And I see it all the time. Enabling bad behavior. I see parents do it to kids, siblings do that to siblings. Your job may do it to you. I mean, you do it to your job, enabling people in the bad behavior. But until you check it and you stop it, it's going to be a cycle of poor behavior. And you got to learn to say no with your chest and mean it. Don't be afraid. Who cares if they're mad, pissed off, upset in their feelings? You can't stop it. You can't control a person's reaction to something. But you got to learn to be okay with what you say because your thoughts, your feelings matter. And also, I have to also speak to the intentions of other people. The reason why you need to speak up for yourself and say no to things because some people have bad intentions. Hello, who needs to hear that again? Sometimes you need to say no to people because they have bad intentions. And that's why discernment is so necessary and important. They don't have good motives. They're trying to do things to slander your name, stab you in the back, see your downfall, get something you want, find out certain information, use you, slow you down in the progress of your life. Not everybody has good motives just because they're smiling in your face. That song by the OJs, smiling in your face, backstabbers. Listen, there's some people out there. They're smiling. But that don't mean they're on your side. That don't mean they're on your side because they're smiling in your face, because they're hanging around you, because they're related to you by blood, because you've known them for a long period of time. People can be wolves in sheep's clothing right in front of you, right in front of you, but you fail to believe it. Be like, nah, that's my cousin. No, that's my best friend. No, that's this person or that person. When you see certain things, believe it. When you identify things and you say, I don't like the moves that they're making, I don't like the way they're talking, stand firm in that and be okay with saying, no, I need to pull back from this person. Speak up for yourself. Speak up and stand firm in that. Be firm in that. And don't be afraid to say what you like and to say what you don't. Your opinion matters. At the end of the day, you have to learn to live with the decisions that you make. Yeah, sometimes we make poor decisions, but also you have a say so. You have a say so in how your life goes by speaking up, by communicating, by asking why. You got to ask why sometimes to kind of figure out and find out why this person is doing this, how they're moving towards you. Sometimes you can find out and sometimes you can't, but I always say listen to your gut. Hey Darius, welcome. I say it all the time. Listen to your gut. When your gut tells you that something doesn't feel right, when you feel that inside of yourself, trust that gut, trust that instinct. Also, trust your conscience. Your conscience will tell you that you're about to do something wrong, and you got to speak up and say, no, I'm not going to do it. It's usually right on point, right on target when something doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right for a reason. For a reason, something is off. And your spirit will always tell you when something is off with somebody else. But you try to say, oh, I wonder what it is. Sometimes it's not even worth it to try to figure out why it is what it is. It's just that person isn't right for you. That person isn't right to be around because they're about to do something to you, say something if they haven't already. See, we don't know what people have done in the background, behind your back, what they've said about you, may have lied on you, made up a whole story, or even harmed you in some way, financially, emotionally, physically. Be careful when your spirit is telling you something isn't right. Listen to that. That spirit will usually always be on point. Spirit will tell you when somebody is playing you or somebody is not good for you. There's some evil people out there, and protect your peace, all of your peace, your emotional peace, your mental peace, your physical peace, your spiritual peace. Protect it all because it's important. Don't let people get into too close to you in your circle. We sometimes let people get too close to us and find out things that are private about us. Be careful what you say to other people. There are some things that I definitely believe that you need to keep between yourself and your higher power. Nobody should know certain things about you. Nobody. Because they're not going to have anything to dangle over you. Don't let people have something to dangle over you. Don't let them. Hey, Lisby, how you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Don't let people have something to dangle over you. That's what people love. They love to have something that they can talk about you. Oh, this happened to them at a moment's notice. They will find something to say to somebody else, throw you under the bus. Be careful. Those are some dangerous people. You trusted them, and then they hurt you, they backstab you, and that thing cuts so deep, and it may take you a long time to recover from those wounds. Sometimes it's those verbal things that people do to you that hurts more than the physical. So be careful about what you say to other people. You can't trust everybody with your most private thoughts. Don't do it. I just saw comments. Yes, facts on facts. Yes, word. Don't give people the weapon of your destruction. And that's why I always say this is important to speak up for yourself, but also you got to have some things that you keep close to your heart. You got to tell everybody everything. You don't have to tell everybody everything because they don't deserve that. That's what's up, word. You got your hours. I love that. I'm going to hit you on IG and talk about something. But that's what I am referring to. I want to, that's the reason why I made this channel, and it's evolved in a little bit, but I want to bring more people to their higher level. I want people to be at their highest level of peace, excellence, doing what they want to do, going after their passion, feeling healed and whole, thriving, smiling, living life with joy and purpose. And if you don't, if you don't, you're going to, if you don't live your life with purpose, you're going to be very unhappy. I just dropped the link, April showers. If you don't live your life on purpose and with purpose, you're going to be very unhappy. You're going to be very uncomfortable. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Don't let people play you. And I got to speak to all the ladies and gentlemen. Whoever needs to hear this, you're an important being. Don't let, because you're going through situations, because people are users, narcissists, gaslighters, don't let them come after you. Oh, Riaz, this is just for April showers. Hey, Miss April.
Hey Marlene, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing great. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Okay. I always have to remember that because I'm working on my phone. When you were saying speak up and do things, like I'm in the point now. Like, even some of my best friends, it's like I'm not even trying to argue with y'all. Or not even argue. At this point, at 60 years old, do you think people could change?
I do, Miss April, because I've seen it happen.
Cause I got one friend got always got something to say about everything. And if we're somewhere and we're all sitting there waiting on our food, and we the last table to get our food, and everybody's saying, "My God, it's taking long for our food." But you're the only person that says it's not taking long. It's like they're always the opposite. But I just learned to just overlook. overlook. Is that good?
Well, Miss April, I will say, if is it somebody that you have to deal with on a regular basis?
Honey, I don't deal with nobody on a regular basis no more.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
I
and
oh, go
this is the
ahead.
honest to goodness truth. And this is just the reason I don't. Because once I didn't have to go on the job, that was a blessing. Because, I can be me now. Uh, I just get with people, do social events with them. I see those in church, but no, uh-uh. And that's the reason why. Because people can. I'm trying to save the relationships other than make it an argument. Keep the relationships. Like I was telling you, if we speak up, and everybody knows this, when you speak up, it's like you're the one that has the problem. No, I don't have the problem. I'm trying to speak up to let you know I don't like this. I don't like what's going on. I don't like the way you do this. But when you speak up, you're the one. You the one got the problem. And it's like, no, you don't have the problem. And usually when we speak up, we are we've taken enough. And we usually ain't speaking up. We cursing up. We toxic up. Cause we done took all we could. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Miss April. I always say
Okay.
that we let things go on for longer than we should.
Right.
And we let things get to the limit where, where you're full and you're
Right.
swimming in it and you're about to explode. And that's why I said, when you the first time I see something and I identify something I don't like, I call it out right away. And it's hard for me because I was not that way before, and sometimes I try to go back, but I said no, you have to confront this, because if it's somebody that I have to deal with more than say once a year, I know if I got to deal with you again, then I'm going to have to call this out, and either they're going to fix it or I'm going to have to get away from them.
Yeah. And
So so Miss April, you say you're trying to save the relationship.
well, cause sometimes everybody can't take constructive criticism. They can't. Or you become the problem. Or
Hmm.
you become the problem. Like I was saying, with my sister, we 14 years apart. And my mom had her. She was 14. She's always like I always tried to act like I was her mother, bossing her around. She she couldn't live uh, like I've always tried to tell her what to do. So the other last week, you know, she's calling me and we were talking and I told her don't call my friends. Since these are my friends. I don't know any of your friends. Don't call my friends. Do not call any of my friends. Well, they like my aunties, those were your friends. I said, but you said I was the toxic person. I couldn't tell you anything, but you want to be friends with all of my friends? I told her, go get you some help, girl.
Yes,
Do something.
I understand, Miss April. To me, it sounds like she is a toxic person.
She's
Like,
the one that's toxic. But, she's the one that's got all of the issues. I let her go. I'm like, I don't need you. We're 14 years apart. You didn't even grow up with some of the things and experiences that me and my brother did with my father. Then some of the behavior my son saw you do to me is what he did to me. So you need to check yourself. But then, to think some of these people are freaking social workers. Like, how can you be a social worker and helping people and you ain't even dealing with your own crap? Now that's what gets me.
Well, Miss April, I will tell you something. The people working in healthcare, I think the people who don't take care of themselves the most is the doctors and the nurses. They have the worst vices, you know. So just because a person may do something for work, it doesn't mean that they're applying it to themselves. They want to do that and help other people, but they just they don't know how to apply it to themselves. And I was the same thing for me, that as a motivated person, I love to help people to get motivated, but I myself was not motivated, but I put in the work to fix why I wasn't motivated. And some people don't want to fix themselves, and that's what it sounds like in the case of your sister, that she's not motivated to change anything, because it sounds like probably from her childhood she's been enabled with this bad behavior and everybody has always accepted it. And
Yeah,
now that you're
yeah.
calling her out, now she doesn't want to change it. But the best thing that you can probably do is to have some distance from her, and if she asks why
Oh,
you're
honey, we
giving.
are at distant, honey. We in all new state. Honey, she's in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
So we've got distance. But now it's all this lovey-dovey mess, cause you done woke up and all of this type of crap. Like, no, I ain't ready to talk to you that much. I'ma still keep feeding you with the long handle spoon that I have been for the last 10 years.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the best thing that you can do. Keep
Yeah.
love
I
people
don't want
from
to
a
be around
distance.
you that long. Um, I don't want to be around you. I know the fake that you are. I know too, shit that you done did, you know, and I just don't uh, care no more. And I'm gonna tell you, everybody in the audience, when people stop caring, that's what you need to be worried about. Because when they stop caring, that ain't good. That ain't good.
Yeah,
And so,
and Miss April, if this has been going on for years and she is comfortable with disrespecting you, just like Eunice said, um, I would have been walked away. And people will
mm.
say that it's something mean, but you got to protect your own peace, and to protect
Oh
your
yeah,
own
I
peace,
do. I do.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I had to ask myself. I had to ask her. I was like, Lord, am I getting ready to die? Sorry, y'all. I'm taking my garbage in case you hear echo. I don't learn. I have to clean while I'm listening to these shows and stuff, because you won't get no work done. But I had to ask them, like, am I dying or something? Because, all of a sudden, here she comes out the blue with this shit
Oh, she must have dropped off. Yeah, the word said people will try to make others the villain of their stories. The thing is that they are really the villain. Instead of fixing the problems that exist within them, they point out things in others. That's just shifting. That's shifting the blame. That's a classic tactic of a narcissist. They shift the blame because they don't accept any responsibility because they don't want other people to see the mask fall off. That's what they do. So I'm just giving some advice to Miss April or anybody who's listening. If you have people in your life and they're draining you, they're lying to you, playing games, all of that, they make you feel bad. You don't have to deal with them. Unfortunately, sometimes the best thing that you have to do for your peace is to let these people go. You don't call them, you don't talk to them, you just don't be around them. It's just not worth it. It's not because you hate them, but it's because you love yourself. Okay, Miss April, where's did I put the link in the chat? Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate all the likes that I've gotten so far. And what the best thing that you can do is to stay away from these people. Stay away from the toxic people, and toxic people will always want to make it seem like you're the problem. They're trying to take the heat off of themselves because they don't want everybody to know who they really are. They don't want to identify that they really do have a problem. And they really do. A lot of people, they do have a problem. Miss April, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you? I'm sorry about that. Um, but yes, like I was saying, my sister and there's a 14-year difference. And when my mom had her, she was my baby, smart as a whip and everything. But she gave her some hell, some hell in her in the younger years. But now it's this I love you type syndrome, and I had to ask people, am I dying or something? Cause I'm like, I say my name. She calls me once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week now with this I love you. Like she done had some awakening moment.
Well,
And
Miss April, maybe she has seen the error of her wrong, but she doesn't know how to change it.
yeah, and that's what I was
Sometimes
thinking too.
sometimes people do recognize that they have a problem, but they don't know how to fix it.
And for her to say I was wrong, I can imagine that would be a lot to say. Like I was right, you know. Um, so I guess you know what? I never looked at it like that, Marlene.
Well,
Mm.
I can only say that, Miss April, because I've been in her position. Before all of this, before I became who I am now, I did a lot of wrong things to people because I was selfish and I was only thinking about myself. And then I had to go back and fix my relationships with friends and family, and I had to come out and say, I'm sorry for the things that I said and did. I'm sorry that I hurt you. And some people still don't deal with me, and you just have to deal with that. When you do wrong to people, they don't have to take you back and trust you again. And I receive all of that, but I know that I've done my part, and so I can see what she's trying to do, but I can't say that's what it is for her, but I can say what it is from my perspective. Once you
But
change.
but you right. She was see because I know I know my other cousins and stuff has been getting on her, but I'm like, shoot, like I say, people try to do the right thing because when people done had enough and they done had enough, whether it come to your family, to kids and everything, when they stop caring, they stop caring.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'll never be the same with her ever again. I put myself in a position that I won't need anybody.
Mhm.
You know, I got my stuff all taken care of. If I don't want nobody to feel like they got to take care of me if I get sick, you know, I got all my stuff wrote down. But it's like when a person, when they really stop caring about you, that
Mhm.
ain't what you want. That ain't
That's
what
true.
you want.
That's true.
I'm
That's
trying to
that's
tell y'all the truth. That ain't what you want. When a
that's true,
person
Miss
will,
April. But
mm-hmm,
you know what, Miss April? I think for me, when people cut me off, that's when I really woke up. That's what it took for me, because all along when I was just putting up with, when people were putting up with the things that I was doing, well, why would you ever change? You're not, because they're accepting it. But once this is like, you need help, you need to stop doing X, Y, and Z. And then when I didn't get the people that I loved around me, like, that thing will hit you in your heart, and that's what worked for me. And then I made a decision to change it. you know that's what it took for me. And there's some people that still don't deal with me, and I'm okay with that, because when you hurt people, it doesn't mean people have to take you back because you hurt them. That's part of being an adult. But also, I feel good, because even if they don't receive it, I know that I went back, I said I'm sorry, and I know I've changed. And some people will never believe that you can change, but I'm here to say that people can change.
and some people will never apologize. You won't never get that apology. And I'm learning that as well. You'll never get that apology. But to me, I find it very hard to just pick up like ain't nothing happened. I have issues with that.
Yeah. Well, for me, Miss April, what I did after I did my therapy, got a life coach, started to do things for myself to be independent, I had a list of everybody in my family, and one by one, I made those phone calls, I wrote those letters, and I just said everything honestly. Like, I just want you to listen to me, and then afterwards you can respond. And I told them everything, bare and honest, like, not sugarcoating everything that I did, everything that I did that I hurt you, the times I lied to you, I abused your trust. I apologize and I'm sorry. And you can take it or you can't take it, but I have to do it so that I can live with myself. So that's what I did for myself. I know everybody is not going to do that, but I had to do it to live with myself, because knowing that you hurt other people, that doesn't sit right with me, because I didn't want to get the same type of energy coming back to me, because it is a circle, it's a cycle. So if you do it to somebody, you better believe in a matter of time the same thing will come back to you.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And then, so with me, I I have an issue with just trying to act like ain't nothing happened. Not because you done woke up or that person done woke up and seen the light. Then you want to get up, and then we supposed to act like ain't nothing happened. At least you went to the people and asked them for their
And I
forgiveness.
told them, I said, I don't expect for you to forgive me, but I'm asking that you do.
You know.
Yep. And it's some that still don't, because just like the word said, people don't believe that you can change, but I know I did. I know I did. And I can't convince anybody that I've changed, but you know when you change. And it's some people who like, wow, you are a completely different person. And I am. Because if y'all knew me a few years ago, fighting and angry and doing all of this stuff and just being rude to people for no reason, I was just a selfish person. I didn't care about nobody but myself. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that everything isn't about you.
Right.
Hmm.
And I try to realize that too with a whole lot of situations. Um, when I tell you I don't be bothered with people on a daily basis, I don't. I'm gonna tell you, I got so burnt out from the family and friends and trying to be the supportive person and everything. Shoot, it's I got some ride and die family I'ma stick with no matter what, 'cause we done stuck by each other. But you other ones, nah, it's all right. Yeah. So, well, well, thanks, Marlene, for letting me come up. And
Well,
you are 100% correct. And I know my sister, and I know my sister. She would never, she would, she would never give me that satisfaction to say that she was sorry, or she was wrong. She would probably die before she ever did that. Uh huh.
mhm.
Yeah.
But Miss April, have you ever told her?
Yes, she knows. She
Oh,
knows
okay.
everything she done did. Yeah, honey,
No,
we didn't have to.
I'm not saying she doesn't know, but have you told her before you
Yeah,
have
I
hurt
told
me?
her.
Okay.
Yes, she knows this. She knows that. Hmm. She knows. She knows everything she done did. She knows. Well, so she knows. Yeah, sorry, like I said, I'm cleaning. Yeah, she knows. She
Okay.
knows.
Well, that's a whole different thing, Miss April.
Yeah.
In my case, I was always saying the same thing like the words say. They need to forgive me, but I never had apologized and said sorry. And it
Yeah.
wasn't I feel like I don't know, I feel like my life shifted also when I apologized. You know how hard it is to admit when you do things that's wrong? You know how hard that is to admit that you weren't perfect and you hurt people? That's not an easy thing to do, but once you humble yourself and speak up and say, I'm not perfect. This is what I did and I apologize for everything I've ever done. And when you do that, your life is going to shift because you're going to start getting more positive energy because you're going to release the pain from another person.
Hmm.
Mhm. So I thank you so much, Miss April, for coming up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And I thank everybody for joining me today for this topic. I just want to encourage you all speak up for yourself, ask for the things that you want, know the things that you don't, and don't ever stop being yourself. Yeah, yes, the word. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Yeah, you have to apologize. We're all imperfect, we're all human. We hurt each other, we do things. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy to say I'm sorry. It's not easy to admit when you hurt people and when you've done wrong. But wouldn't you want the same thing to happen to you? I recommend you all do it for yourself because you want to get back the same energy. Thank y'all so much for joining me today for this topic, Speak Up. And like I always say, every single video, story time, and live stream, just know it. Just breathe it and be it and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you?